Welcome back to another episode of Sacred Wild Man. My name is Roy. Today I have a clip to show you. Take a look.
Nice people, especially nice guys, are super narky, profoundly narcissistic. It's an instinct to self-preserve. And that's where, as a female, you can't be with a nice guy. Why? Because the nice guy's going to let the lion eat your throat for the sake of his own safety. It's, I need you to like me so that I'm safe. Niceness specifically is a behavior that is an adaptive strategy designed to keep you safe within the social stratosphere. So we're going to behave in this way that makes you like me so that I'm safe. That's nice.
Now I had to comment on this clip because it seems to me these days there's so much bashing of the nice guy from both men and from women. And while part of this is probably due to the increasing awareness of what the nice guy dynamic is, another piece of this that I find I want to shift is the attitude in which people are going about it. Just like women, when women hear from their man, hey, just calm down, they naturally calm down instantly, right? No, they do not. They, in fact, get more agitated that you don't get it. And so, similar to that, when nice guys hear from men, hey, you're weak, you're a pussy, or they're hearing from women, hey, you're manipulative, you're narcissistic, does that inspire them to be any better? I would assert that it does not. It's not effective. There might be a certain truth to it, an unpleasant truth, but it is not overall effective in inspiring change in behavior as well as identity. In fact, it further puts in the roots, it digs the hooks and talons in to the identity that the nice guy already struggles with, which is a sense of not enough, a sense of shame, that he's just not doing it right, and he has to try even harder and harder and harder to get it right. If I were to see these messages, if I were to hear these messages in my former nice guy syndrome days, I would absolutely feel depressed and not encouraged at all. And so having navigated my own journey through this dynamic, I want to offer something different. I want to offer a different way of thinking about this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's better or the only way. I'm just saying, try this on with me. Because if you're a guy who's watching who has struggled with this nice guy dynamic, and you feel that the messages out there have not been helpful, this might be something that you can try on and see if this is more effective to you. So first, what I want to offer is, let's thank your mind for coming up with the nice guy dynamic, the nice guy behaviors. And why do I say this? Because your mind is interested in your survival. That's it. Doesn't care if you feel good, doesn't care if you feel bad. It's not interested in making you feel awful, nor is it interested in making you feel great. It just wants you to survive. It wants to ensure your well-being. And your mind determined at a certain point in your life that these nice guy behaviors were exactly what was required to keep you alive. Let's think about when you were a boy. Most vulnerable time in your life, other than when you're an infant, even more vulnerable. But as a boy, you're incredibly vulnerable. You are at the mercy of the food bringers, the bed providers, and the toy givers. So your primary caregivers, parents, or maybe it was a community, a tribe of people you lived among. But you were entirely dependent on them. And one of the primary needs in such a vulnerable time is connection, love. And whenever we perceive there's a threat to that, instantly mind comes in. What do we need to do? Do we need to fight? Do we need to flight? Usually not, because there is no lion to run from. There's no lion to try to fight off an attack. It's just people. It's your parents. So there's nothing to fight an attack, and there's nothing to run. So then the only thing that really does shift is behavior, social behavior. So a lot of this likely had nothing to do with you and your identity, but what you were experiencing. Let's say one day you came home and your mother or your father lashed out at you, and you got that strong sense, ugh, this doesn't feel good. And as all children do, or very egocentric, we take it in as something about us is off. I'm responsible for this. So if I'm responsible for this, I gotta change it. If I'm bad, then I gotta be good. So with all this feedback, and nowadays with so many boys who have grown up being raised by single moms, and going to schools where most of the teachers are women, there's an orientation to what do I need to do to please the women around me? Because there could be a potential threat that I lose the approval, the affection, warmth, and love of the women in my life, and the most important woman in my life, my own mother. So naturally, that nice guy behavior comes in. Just do what mommy wants. Be the good boy. Congratulations. Your mind determined that was the best thing to do to keep you alive and to ensure that those needs were met. Good on you. And now we get to update your mind. Because in the present day, I'm assuming you're far older than when you were a little boy, those things that kept you alive likely no longer serve you. Just as a bunny has run away from a wolf, the bunny no longer needs to be scared after the wolf is gone. It can hop along, enjoy some carrots, or maybe find Lady Bunny and get it on. But the thing is, Bunny's mind is no longer blowing up a sense of a threat because that actual threat isn't there. But with us humans and our more complex minds, we don't operate in that way. Part of us, our brain glitches out and we replay the worst part of the movie as if it's still happening or about to happen or just happened. And so in the case of the nice guy, there's that sense of, I still need to keep doing this because this could be happening at any point. Subconscious mind of the nice guy has no understanding of past or future, only the present. And so if it only is hooked on the past, then that becomes the present and it just keeps replaying. And so what I want to offer to you is good. You learn how to survive in a time where you had to. And this behavior, the thoughts and feelings that come with it, no longer serve you. And so now we get to create a new pattern so that you can actually live the life that you want. And so that's what I intend to do with the workshop that I'm holding, a free workshop. We'll spend about 60 minutes together, and what I will go through in that workshop is the origin story of the nice guy. I touched on some of it already, but where does this behavior, these beliefs come from? And then offering an understanding of how mind has been processing all of these things, and then shifting the mind so that it can update to the present. And after that, offering you practical actions that you can begin taking in your day-to-day life, that 1% consistency every single day that can start to shift this pattern for you. And so if you want to attend this workshop, I will have a link in the description that you can click. If you attend it live, then you'll be able to be there with me to ask questions. I'll have time for questions as well. And if you're watching this and then it happens to be after the live workshop, I will have a recording of the workshop that you can also access for free on my website, and you'll find it in the link as well. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and may you realize that you are not trapped in this nice guy dynamic. You are not an awful, bad person or a narcissist. You just had to figure out how to survive in a period of your life where you needed it. And now you get to step into something new. And that's what I'd like to offer you. Hope to see you in the workshop.